Right.
So, thank you for tuning in. We have the pleasure of being joined by Dotte's co-founder Sam this Sunday lunchtime. So, hi Sam, thank you for
Hello.
taking time out to chat with us.
Thank you for having us.
You're welcome. So, as our followers may know, we're celebrating all things style here at Ickle Bubba this month, with it being London Fashion Week. So, while we're not a high fashion brand strutting our stuff at London Fashion Week itself, what we do pride ourselves on is creating stylish and quality nursery products at affordable prices. So not only that, but we're very much about investing in products that last the test of time, especially with little ones in tow. So with this in mind, we really wanted to tap into your expertise and to really celebrate the idea of looking after products from new, but also chat about how we can ensure that once our little ones outgrow these things, especially their clothes, how do we avoid simply throwing them out? And I know that you obviously are pro at this, so hence having this chat this afternoon. So can you please introduce us to Dotte and just how it came about?
Absolutely. So Dotte, an intro into what Dotte is. Dotte is the UK's first peer-to-peer marketplace, which is offering a fully circular solution to the fastest area of the fastest area of fashion, which is by nature kids wear, obviously, because they don't stop growing. So on Dotte, you can buy and sell direct to other parents or families, but you can also donate and recycle. And Dotte was born out of a genuine parental frustration. So Louise, my co-founder, and I had both been selling our own clothes secondhand and buying our own clothes secondhand for quite some time, but we were really frustrated that there was no dedicated platform just for kids wear specifically. Now resale is booming and it's only going to get bigger. As it's getting bigger, it's only natural that people want to see specialized platforms for specific areas. So we've got a specific platform for watches, there's a specific platform for trainers, luxury women's wear, luxury men's wear, but there wasn't a space for kids wear. So with that in mind, without there being a clear cut space for kids wear, we thought we'd launch Dotte. And now Dotte comes from our daughter's name. So Louise's daughter is called Dot and my daughter's called Lotte. So we put the names together and fortunately it sounded quite nice. So we stuck with that. And at Dotte, yes, of course, we do want to encourage resale. We are a resale platform, but not only that, it's much bigger than that. It's about wanting to shift habits. We want to encourage parents to buy new better, so buy well and then resell, because the items will hold value. Better quality items you will be able to resell and recoup some of those costs. So it's definitely about shifting how we shop first of all, and then kind of getting involved in that circular economy. So we essentially, in a nutshell, we want to support parents to buy well, buy better, and then resell, because that at the end of the day is what's going to have a much bigger impact on our planet if we work together.
Definitely. And I think that all sounds amazing. And it's definitely in tune with the values here at Ickle Bubba. I don't know if you know, but like Dotte, Ickle Bubba was set up by first time parents, Fran and Veronica. So they went out, were shopping for their travel system, and they were so perplexed by the complexity or the seeming complexity of buying a travel system. There was a starting price, and then I think it tripled by the time they, had all the add-ons.
Added on, it looks like it's 500 quid. Then by the time you've got the newborn bit and the insert and the straps and the foot muff, oh my god, it's then you're north of £1,000. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's how, the very concept of Ickle Bubba started. And they kind of, came up with, one of the first people to come up with the idea of bundling this together for people to have one easy purchase to buy when they first found out they were pregnant. So yeah, that's how they founded the company, to simplify the process. So I guess that was their, offering of a solution to parents to demystify that, big purchase. What would you say is Dotte's USP?
Well, I think there's many things that make Dotte unique. First and foremost is our community. Community is at the heart of everything we do. We've been live for just over a year and we are constantly communicating with our community for what they need from a platform like this, because kids grow so fast. It's infuriating actually how fast they grow. They outgrow about 280 items of clothing in the first 2 years. And on average, that costs parents about £6,000 each. It's just phenomenal when you tally it all up. They just don't stop growing. And the most important thing to Louise and I, when we sat down and we were kind of brainstorming this business idea, was to make it easy for parents, because everybody's busy in this day and age, but nobody is busier than parents. And we want it to be a simple, easy solution for parents to get involved into the circular economy. But we also want it to feel exciting. We want it to feel like something they want to do, a place to discover new brands as well. And before Dotte came along, of course you could shop secondhand for your kids, but it was hard. It was a chore. You had to know what you're looking for. You have to have the time to be able to do it. And it's kind of like finding a needle in a haystack. You know, you also, if you wanted to get involved in the selling side of things, you had to have a bag to take to charity, a bag to take to the recycle bin, and then a big pile of clothes in the corner that you list on eBay, for example. And it wasn't really fitting for what parents needed and wanted. And the current mindset around secondhand is it doesn't particularly feel very aspirational. It feels second best, and Dotte is all about making it feel great. And again, the current mindset around shopping for younger children in particular is, well, they're going to outgrow that in about a month, so I'm not going to spend good money on it. So we do tend to buy perhaps a bit cheaper or maybe less good quality, and because the cost of these items in our head is completely written off. We generally don't think we'll see a return on it. And I'll be honest, Jenna, I was the exact same when my daughter was born, and that is how I got into buying better via secondhand, because I saw a pair of leggings that were £32, and I thought, I'm never going to spend £32 on a pair of leggings that Lotta is going to outgrow in about 1 month. So I did some digging on eBay and I found a pair for £12. And then when she outgrew it in a month, I sold it for £12. So that was my eureka moment. That was when I kind of thought, that makes sense. That cost me nothing apart from the initial investment. So now I do buy new from that particular brand because I know I will get a return on that investment. And if you know you can get that cost back, it doesn't feel quite so difficult passing with that money. But I got into that kind of way of shopping via secondhand. And as attitudes shift and change, we start to realize not only, I guess, the financial benefits of that, but of buying and selling secondhand, but also the environmental impact is huge. And by selling on Dotte, you're saving up to 70% of the carbon emissions associated even just with the production of the item being made. And you're also saving up to 79% of the carbon emissions associated with sending it to landfill. And that's a shocking stat that goes to landfill at the moment. It's 30% of parents are throwing kids' clothes away purely because they don't know what to do with them. And it's such a heartbreaking stat. And there's probably a lot of parents out there thinking, yeah, because I don't know what else to do with them, and I don't know what else. I don't have the time to take it to 5 different places or list lots of things. So that is why we exist. Dotte exists to make it impossible to not get involved in the circular economy. So you'll have your pile for recycle and donate. You send them in to us, and then we sort that out for you. But the selling side of things is all within your control. You can take the photos yourself, you upload it yourself, you list the item, and then you post it direct to the family. So it really feels like you're part of the whole package. And then when you get that email that says you sold something, it really is like a dopamine hit. It's really exciting, and it's quite like gaming. It's quite addictive. But we want to make it really easy for parents to get involved in the circular economy. And I think another reason why Dotte is so successful at doing this is because we're making it cool to be secondhand for kidswear. You know, we're a fashion forward destination, and we're making secondhand for your kids feel better than buying new in a way. So you can upload an item in less time than it takes to boil a cup of tea. We have timed this with all of our team members. We did it as a exercise. You can browse and discover new brands, and you just feel good about doing that. At the same time, it doesn't feel like, you know, you're walking into a bargain bin charity and sifting through. It doesn't feel second best. It feels exciting and curated almost. And you might be interested in a couple of stats that I pulled together with how much impact you do have, because I don't think, until I started on this journey, I don't really think I knew how much impact fast fashion had on the planet. And by selling one t-shirt on Dotte, you can save up to 2,000 litres of water, which is massive. And purely from buying and selling secondhand on Dotte, our community have saved enough saved the planet enough CO2 to fly a plane from London to Perth and then back again. And we've saved enough water to fill 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. And it's so easy to get involved with that. Every member, you can do it from the comfort of your own couch.
Amazing. And I know, like you just mentioned all of that, like, you know, that they're amazing reasons, you know, in themselves for us to all get involved. I mean, just thinking from my own perspective, I know that for myself, I love shopping secondhand. I feel like I found a real treasure when I get something that's a bit different, you know, as opposed to just going on the high street and getting, you know, everything from new. But when I'm looking for my toddler, I know that I have struggled a little bit in terms of feeling like I'm really sourcing quality secondhand clothing. So, what would you say to other mums who've maybe had a similar experience to myself?
I completely understand that, and a lot of that could be to do with the stock that's available and the quality of the items that are available, because you know the lower end of the high street or the supermarkets tend to not withhold their quality as much as, say, the more premium brands. But first and foremost, we are a parent to parent marketplace. We are community first, as I've mentioned, and our community pride themselves on on true listings, so it is as listed exactly as the item is. And we also operate a review system, so similar to like Airbnb and Uber, our buyers and sellers are reviewing each other. So we also have what's called a buyer protection scheme as well. So if you're not happy with the quality of something, you've tried to get in contact with the seller, it doesn't happen very often. We've got 99% 5-star reviews between our community. They can get in touch with us and we can sort that out for them. So we also have a seller handbook, which lists things like a perfect step-by-step guide of how to prepare the clothing, like wash them, etc., make sure they're presentable, highlight any imperfections. So we really do try to communicate. It's really important that you list the item as true to what it is.
Well, that's, yeah, definitely reassuring. I mean, obviously, like hygiene's like number one in our priority, even more so now. So I think, all obviously, as parents, we would just wash them before we sell them on anyway. That's a given. But it's good to know you've got the rating system as well, so that we know, you know, that we can trust that seller.
Yes.
So everyone has their favourite brand. I guess when we're buying second hand, you maybe feel like you can't always be that picky. So what would you say to that assumption?
One of the best things about Dotte, and this was another thing Louise and I were super passionate about when we were even just brainstorming the ideas of Dotte, was we wanted there to be an element of discovery and for it to be exciting for parents to come and look through Dotte. And it's really, really important that maybe brands that people haven't heard of get kind of space with lots of curated edits, for example. But we want people to be able to discover these new brands that they may not have come across before. So you can use our personal shopping tool to select styles that your child might like. So for example, neutrals, bright colors, prints, and then you pop in your child's age and it will show you everything in those kind of style categories that you've selected. We're also delivering lovely curated edits, as I mentioned, so highlighting brands that we think uphold with these qualities. We have recently been named in Vogue as the place to buy and sell secondhand mini Rodini, which is one of the most desirable independent brands. So we are fast becoming the place to go to for your mini Rodini, your tiny cottons, your Bobo Shows. And if any of those names mean nothing to you, they didn't to me once upon a time as well, but we'd love to get you kind of introduced to them, buying these kind of brands that withhold that quality as well. And my favorite brand, by the way, is mini Rodini.
And as you say that, I'm thinking, God, that sounds so expensive. But as you mentioned before with these leggings, like it is still accessible. Like I think you just assume because it's got a designer label attached to it, it's just going to be out of your reach. And it sounds to me like you can still have that in your baby's wardrobe, but on a budget as well.
Absolutely. And I think, you know, we tend to overbuy for our children's wardrobe. I certainly did, especially when she was little. But as again, talking about shifting habits and how we shop, as we start to change those habits, we buy a little bit less than what we might need. And like I mentioned before, shopping for these brands secondhand is the perfect way of getting to use those brands without paying the full price. And I truly believe that most people, once they've accessed it via secondhand, they then do actually go on to buy it new because they know they can recoup the costs later on.
Fantastic. So for me, I like to mix up new items with secondhand items when it comes to clothing, but maybe for like the bigger purchases such as the pushchair and furniture. I know when I was having my baby, I felt quite strongly that those things had to be brand new, and whether that was like my mum in the background saying, "Oh, it has to be brand new, Jenny. You have to have a brand new item for the baby." Then maybe she had the influence there, and whereas I don't think I would have been quite as concerned as she was, but still she instilled it in me that those two things should really be brand new. So I bought those brand new. But now, come to think of it, if I was going to have a second child, I wouldn't think twice about reusing the items. And I'm definitely more open-minded about buying, you know, secondhand. But for me, the pushchair that I bought, you know, it was bought because I knew I wanted it to last the test of time. And I guess, you know, that's what we do at Ickle Bubba. We make sure that our travel systems have a 4-year warranty. And that's because what we know they need to last from newborn to their early years, and probably for a second or third child. So again, what are your thoughts on buying secondhand versus new?
Well, again, Dotte, although we are a secondhand platform, of course, Dotte is not just about only, but we're not, you know, we don't want to be evangelical about anything, only clothe your child in secondhand. You know, we know that's realistically not what parents do. They want to have a blend, they want to have a bit of both. And obviously, you guys are a travel system. It lasts, like you say, 4 years and probably beyond. It's a big initial investment piece, and you have that really handy 4-year warranty. So the value really does pay off there. You're investing in that, you know, initial piece of kit. And as I said earlier, Dotte isn't just about secondhand. We need to encourage parents to buy, or families to buy well first and then resell, which is why we have partnered with so many amazing brands to become their official resale platform of choice. So we call this the Resale Collective. So essentially brands partner with us, with Dotte, and they encourage their community to resell their outgrown kids wear. Let's just say it's Turtle Dove. We have a sample sale coming up with them at the end of this week, so I'll use them. So they'll say, once you've outgrown this 3 to 6 month baby grow from Turtle Dove, if you pop it onto Dotte, once it sells, we'll give you £5 off new. So it brings them back. So we know that our brands that we're working with are doing their bit. They're wanting to get involved in the circular economy. They're wanting to elongate the lifespan of their clothing. They're getting involved in resale. And this is where brands really are going. They want to be involved in this resale aspect. And because they're promoting us, we promote them in turn. We want our families to start buying better. So we'll promote our brands that we're working with, and we'll say, these are the reasons you should buy new from Turtle Dove, and then resell it on Dotte when you're finished. So it's very much about kind of, again, I keep saying shifting mindset. I feel like a broken record, but that really is what it's about, shifting the mindset to help people to start this journey into buying better and then reselling as a form of investment, because then they can recoup the costs.
So I think, as well as knowing that we're doing like our bit for the planet, we always know that it's nice to get a bit of extra cash in our back pockets, you know, for family life. I don't know about other mums, but for me, whether I sell or donate depends on time. So sometimes I can feel like it's a bit of a faff to upload individual pictures and add descriptions to sell things. How does the selling process work on Dotte?
So it couldn't be simpler, which is the good news. You sign up to Dotte, you click sell, and there's a form for you to populate with each item that you're selling. So that'll be things like brand, age, style, color, and then you upload a couple of photos, and that's it, simple. But we do also acknowledge that there are some parents that just don't have the time to list, no matter how fast it is. And we do have a really exciting solution for these parents coming up. It's in testing phase at the moment, but it is in the pipeline. So make sure you're signed up to the newsletter, make sure you're signed up to Dotte in advance of, because we really would love to get those people involved in the circular economy as well.
So I'm going to stay tuned for that one.
Yeah, but it's coming.
If garments aren't in a resaleable condition, can parents still donate them to Dotte?
Yes, absolutely. So obviously not everything can be resold. Some things just don't hold their value. Some things are rip stained, or, you know, the inevitable punamis that every baby has, especially in the earlier years. So not everything you can get your money back on. So we offer a donate and recycle scheme because, as mentioned earlier, we want Dotte to be this one-stop shop where you can deal with it all in one place, rather than, you know, faffing around in lots of different locations. And so we pass things on to the baby banks for you, and we also partner with trade. So if the baby banks aren't in need of X, Y, and Z, we have another home for it. And if they are really truly past their best, rip stains, etc., then we send it to a place where the clothing actually gets made into very exciting things like car seat padding and oil rags, which is really we sell 2 huge I wish I had one to show you, 2 huge donate and recycle sacks, which you can purchase on the website. We'll send that straight out to you. You pop those items in and send it back to us in the post, and we do all the rest. So we take all the work out of it.
Amazing. So I'm sure we've got a few people tuned in who've heard all that and they're like, okay, you might have tempted me, but I just need that little bit more persuasion. What would you say to those people?
I would say come and have a browse of our Instagram. First and foremost, get a real feel for the vibe and the community that we're building. Have a look at the website, have a little look through, sign up, and you'll soon see it is the best way not only to dress your kids stylishly, but financially and environmentally. It's going to have such an impact, and it's so easy for you to get involved, and we would absolutely love to welcome your community to join us. In fact, if you sign up to Dotte using the code Ickle Bubba, you will get £5 cash back from Dotte when you make your first purchase. And if you have any questions at all, just get in touch. We love a chat. It's our team that does the customer service. It's us that will be responding to you. We have a chat bot. You can email us. You can message us on Instagram. We'd absolutely love to have you involved.
We've got a lot of hearts going off there, so I think that went well. I know I did see one thing pop up while we were chatting. Somebody was asking, is there an app coming anytime soon?
Watch this space.
Okay.
Watch this space. And another thing I would say about kidswear, because I do understand, and I think we are so influenced by our parents or perhaps older generations, and to that generation, what I would say is secondhand did feel second best, because once upon a time, secondhand meant you couldn't afford new. And that is just not the case now. And now we find ourselves in this place of overconsumption, fast fashion. It's literally destroying the planet. And the wonderful thing about kidswear, it is literally, quite literally, the perfect type of clothing for resale, because kids grow so fast, as mentioned earlier. That's a lot of clothing that only gets literally 2 or 3 wears. Some of it, quite a lot of the stuff on the platform is actually brand new. So although it's secondhand, it is brand new. So by the time, you know, they've outgrown, sorry, it's never been worn by the time they would have outgrown it. So you can literally bag yourself quite literally brand new pieces or nearly new pieces on the platform. So a space like Dotte, truthfully, it's what people have been crying out for. It's been such an amazing initial response, and we really would love to welcome your community over too.
Well, I'm on there, so hopefully everybody else is tuned in. So much, Sam, for joining us again, and we will speak to you soon.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Bye.